Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Old School Gunner. I'm here, guys, live and in full effect, and I'm still licking my wounds after Friday's result, guys. I just managed to sober up. I've been drinking for the last 3 days straight. No, I'm only joking, guys. I'm only joking. I had a couple of Guinnesses yesterday, but I left it at that. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I mean to say, I'm absolutely delighted, guys, to welcome back on the show the main man, El Diablo, Il Duce, whatever you want to call him. He's back. He's back, guys. Luckily, he's not like Il Duce, guys. He's not like Mussolini. We're not going to hang him off anything. But we are going to hang Mikel Arteta if he keeps going the way he's going. I've got the scaffold and everything. We're just going to put a rope around his neck and throw it up over it. Now, listen, we're going old school on it, guys, because I'm the old school gunner. Now, look. Welcome back, Warren. Absolutely delighted to have you back on the show, as I'm sure all the people watching are. We've already got 2 people tuning in. Maximum respect. Big up yourselves. I'm just going to let Warren take it there. He can answer a little bit about his channel. We can talk about that, and then we'll just get straight into it. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about the one, the only, and I'm not talking about that clown Arteta. I'm talking about Gerd Muller. After we talk a little bit about Muller, this is an Arsenal channel, guys, but the man deserves a little bit of attention. We're going to talk a bit about Gerd, and then we're going to move on and talk all things Arsenal, and then it's going to get explosive. Okay, take it away, Warren. If you want to tell people a little bit about your channel, look at the stream below, guys. I have it on the live feed about Warren's Instagram, about his YouTube. All you need to know, guys, it's Warren's Team Talk. So take it away, Warren. Talk a little bit about your channel, and then we'll get into it. Easy, relaxed.
Lovely, thank you. Well, first of all, mate, thanks very much for having me on again. I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy to be here. It's an absolute pleasure to be on your channel. I'm looking forward to our chat today because I think we've got a lot to talk about. Because this mad situation can't be allowed to carry on much longer. It's absolutely farcical. So my channel is called Warren's Team Talk, and on that channel I talk about Arsenal and I talk about football in general. I talk about my experiences of watching football since 1972, where most of that time I've been following Arsenal, but I've also been to see lots of other football as well. I'm a big supporter of Glasgow Celtic as well, and I've been a supporter. I've been around watching Maidstone United, Tunbridge Angels, Dunfermline Athletic, and a few other clubs down the years because I just love going to watch football matches, basically. So I've been up and down the country, all over the place. Hartlepool, Doncaster, Aldershot, Brighton, you name it. I've been there, mate. So in the coming weeks, you're going to see my stories about when I went to different grounds and what happened. And there's a lot of really interesting stories to tell, I can tell you.
I can imagine so.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll pass it controls back over to you now, mate. And
hand controls back over to someone that's completely irresponsible. That's me. You know what I mean? I'm like one in the chamber. You know what I mean? I'm like Beretta that I have in the corner. I've got one in the chamber, guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Listen. Let's talk a little bit about Muller. What a shock yesterday, man. You, of course, Warren was the first to be on it. I was just waking up over here in Venezuela. It was like 8 in the morning, 7:30. But yeah, the guy, guys, I mean to say, for a lot of us, he's a little bit before our time. But of course, I have heard of the player, guys. I have seen programs about the player. And of course, after that, when he was a coach and his absolute 100%, I'm not talking about him as a goal scorer, guys. We're going to talk that in a while. But his 100% commitment, guys, to developing young players and to giving guys the time on the training ground, to putting his hand on their shoulder and to giving them advice, and with absolutely no ego. I mean, Muller, he had no ego, guys. He didn't fancy himself. He's not like Grant Xhaka, you know what I mean? He in, but he always had the young players. He gave the voice. That's the kind of guy he was. He modest. As a goal scorer, guys, absolutely electrifying goal scorer. My God, the young goals he scored. I'm trying to look for you. There's no way. And in the air, guys, absolutely explosive. The trends, his leap, he could just high, and he could head the ball with absolute precision, guys. Top corner, he would also go into the net to make it difficult for the goalie. A bit like Pele, he would make it very difficult for the goalie off the header. Tremendous shooting abilities. Like, he'd take the ball back to goal, quick turn, smash it to the corner. That's how you do it. It's got football, you know what I mean? And it was a real sad day, guys. It held for a while. But this guy, guys, is a person, as a player. I mean, he won the World Cup with Germany. He won.
Oh dear, looks like old Skool Gunner has frozen everyone. So yeah, Gerd Muller. Now he was top quality. I don't remember that much about his playing career because I was very young. I started watching football in 1972, like I said, when I was 5. And I know that he represented Germany in the 1974 World Cup. And the thing about him was that I know he was very acrobatic in the penalty area. And not only that, when the ball came to him in the penalty area, he was absolutely lethal. It would just... if it came to him in the box, it was in the back of the net. Simple as that. So, you're back, mate.
Huh? Sorry about
You're
that,
back.
guys. I'm back. The white cast completely. Thanks for Nicholas Maduro. Thanks a lot, Nicholas. I watch what I say, or take away the guest up. Anyway, listen. Yeah, guys, tremendous player. It's a real pity, guys, but unfortunately in life. His goal scoring records, guys, I don't know, did you catch it there? What I was saying? Side, guys. Think of that. 60 in 62. This is international football, guys. Say no more about it. All right, what do you think?
I think you froze again, mate. So yeah, it was really sad news. I heard the news, I think Sunday morning. I was doing some work, I think, for my channel, and I got this notification on my phone saying that he'd passed away, and I couldn't believe it. I don't know if he'd been ill or what had happened, but yeah. So he was a great striker. I didn't really know much about his coaching career, but I knew about his playing career, and I know that he represented Germany. He had a phenomenal goal scoring record with Germany, and I think with Bayern Munich as well. And like I say, he was very acrobatic. He would score overhead kicks, scissor kicks. He would score the most ridiculous shots that other people wouldn't try. Yeah, so in the penalty area, he was an absolute handful, this fella. So, I know he scored he scored at least one of the 3 goals that knocked England out of the 1970 World Cup. And the Germans that in that tournament, they ended up getting knocked out by, I think they got knocked out by Italy in the semi-finals. And Italy that year went on to lose 4-1 in the final to Brazil. And then I think he spearheaded the 1974 German World Cup team as well. So, yeah, great player. And obviously it's very sad that he's gone. But this year we seem to have lost quite a few people, really. One thing and another, it just seems to be every week we seem to be losing someone. But hopefully he's in a better place. I'm sure he is. And he'll be fondly remembered, and he'll be missed, that's for sure, by the German people, the Bayern supporters, because he was a phenomenal striker. So hopefully Old Skool Gunner will be back on soon. Now, I know one of the things he wanted to talk about was this business with Arsenal and the situation with Mikel Arteta. I'm just going to see if I can text him just to see what's going on. Hold on a sec. Oh, he's on his way back. Here he is.
I'm getting very agitated with the Wi-Fi in Venezuela. I'm looking at my face. Okay. I apologize for that, guys. And if it goes again, my sincerest apologies. And I apologize to Warren. Thank you for your patience.
That's all right, mate. I was just talking to him about Gerd Miller, and I was just about to start talking to him about our friend at Arsenal. Well, not our friend, but the problem we have at Arsenal.
He's not his friend.
Yeah.
Watch videos yesterday, guys. What I had to say about Arteta and his apology to fans. I told him he could take it. Yeah, oh dear. Looks like Old School has frozen yet again, unfortunately. And he's gone. I know that he wanted to talk about the situation at Arsenal. Now, for me, the situation is becoming increasingly more serious each week that this situation is allowed to fester, the more damage it's doing. And for me, personally, it's not just Mikel Arteta, it's the whole club is in a mess. It's to do with Mikel Arteta, it's to do with Edu, it's to do with Vinay, it's to do with that Richard Shaslick, the whole lot of them. The recruitment team, they keep recruiting these players that aren't good enough and then paying them too much. And then the problem we have then is that these players, like, for example, let me give you an example. The guy that we signed from, I think from Schalke, the left wing back, the Kolasinac chap, he's on over 100 grand a week, and we got him on a free transfer.
Now, the fact we got him on a free transfer is good, but what isn't good is the fact that he's on over 100 odd grand a week. Now, the thing is, when we now try and sell him, we can't get rid of him because no one wants to pay the wages that he's on. The same with Hector Bellerin. It's another one. No one wants him. All these players that we're trying to move on, no club wants to take them because of their salary demands. So it's a massive problem. We got all these players. There's about 14 of them, I think, who need to be moved on, and we can't get rid of them because of their salaries. So to me, the whole way the salary structure at the club, the whole salary structure needs looking at. But the problem is as well, if we want to get any players of any quality, because we're not playing in Europe, we're not in the Champions League, we're not even in the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. We need to pay them over the odds in order to get them to come. So that's a huge problem. It really is. I mean, for me, the only solution to all of this is if we recruit players from the youth team who we think can do the job. I mean, because, for example, I can't believe that Ainsley Maitland-Niles won't do a better job than that bloody Granit Xhaka does in midfield. Because when he's in possession of the ball, he's so slow. He slows the ball. He slows everything down. I mean, the game on Friday against Brentford, the passing and distribution of the ball was appalling. We're not physical enough. The second Brentford goal, Bernd Leno was being manhandled when the ball came into the penalty area. He was being held by the Brentford attacker. So there's a question mark there about whether the goal should have stood, because as far as I'm aware, you can't touch the goalkeeper. That was outlawed in the 1950s, as far as I was aware. Because in the 1950s, you used to be able to barge the goalkeeper while he was holding the ball into the goal. But it got outlawed. So I don't really understand how that was allowed to stand or how nothing got done about that. But on the same token, we can't be relying on referees to bail us out. Leno should have just had enough of a physical presence to stop that from happening. Now, the situation, though, is such that what concerns me about that situation was if he'd had a physical altercation with a guy that was holding on to him, there's a chance that he could have been sent off. He would have been banned for possibly 3 games for violent conduct. And we've got no backup goalkeeper. So we would maybe have had a 16 or 17-year-old kid then playing in goal. So I don't know. Hold on, I've just got a message from Old School. Let me just respond to him. He's saying he's having trouble with his Wi-Fi. He's trying to get back online. So I'm going to keep talking to you about this situation. It's a massive problem because we don't have a backup goalkeeper. If Leno had been sent off, that means we could have potentially then had a 16 or 17-year-old kid playing in goal for the games against Man City and Chelsea. Now, that's a massive problem because, we've already got 3 or 4 players out. Whether they're injured or not is another matter. I mean, Aubameyang and Lacazette are both supposedly out because of illness. We got Partey who's injured. We've got Gabriel who is out. I'm not sure quite what's wrong with him, whether it's an injury or what it is, but he's not available for selection. So, it's a massive problem. And, it's not. If there was a backup goalkeeper, I would have been a lot more.
Okay.
Oh, you're back, mate. Nice one. Nice to see you.
I could just be back for maybe 30 seconds. I don't know. So let's see what happens. Man, I'm not going to get into that now. Okay. So annoying. Hi, guys.
No problem. I was just talking to the people about the situation at Arsenal, and I was going on about Bernd Leno and the fact we got no backup goalkeeper and why that was a massive problem, and Brentford's second goal, because I've spoken to a couple of people, and everyone I've spoken to has told me that they think it shouldn't have been allowed. It should have been disallowed for a foul on the goalkeeper, which is fine, but I'm of the opinion that it should have. Oh God, he's gone again. Oh dear, oh Lord. Oh, poor old Skool's Wi-Fi. His Wi-Fi in Venezuela is horrendous. Ball TV has put a comment up saying relegation is a reality this season with this manager. Mate, I can't say that I disagree with you. I think it most certainly is. Because the whole thing is a shambles, absolute shambles. But what I was saying, I just want to finish this comment.
I'm back again for another 5 seconds.
Good man. You're back.
For another 5 seconds. I'm just going to do it and let them talk. Guys. I agree with Bally. I really believe this manager. Can't see where the goal's going to come. Guys, I just can't see how we're going to develop it, guys. But yeah, I'm going to let Warren continue. I don't know what you were talking about, so I will let Warren continue what he was saying.
No, I was just going to finish off this one comment I was making. I was saying about Bernd Leno, and I was talking to some people over the weekend about the second goal, and one of them's an ex-referee. And he told me that the goal should have been disallowed. It was a foul, which is fine. But my opinion of it is, under normal circumstances, if we'd had a backup keeper, I would have wanted to see Bernd Leno get more physical with that guy who was holding on to him. But what we need to bear in mind is, because we got no backup goalkeeper, if he gets sent off, we're looking at a situation, because Runnison is unwell now as well. We could be facing a situation where we've got a 15, 16 or 17-year-old kid playing in goal, which is it's a madness. How the hell have we got to a situation when this has happened, right? And, because the thing is, if Leno had got physical with that fella and just got hold of him and threw him to the ground, and there'd been a physical confrontation, what would have happened? Leno would have got sent off. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I've got a bit of sympathy with him, but not much, because he shouldn't have allowed it to happen, or one of his defenders should have stepped in and like just barged the fella out of the way.
Yeah, Sergio Ramos style. You know what I mean? Take prisoners.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly, and because
The physical game out there. You know what I mean? Football is physical, guys. It's not all Cristiano Ronaldo one touch, two touch, step over. There's a physical side to the game, a physical aspect. I'm not going to say it's a game for men. That would be disrespecting the ladies, the Arsenal ladies, and what have you, women's football. It's a physical game, and there's a time in the game, guys. There's always that period gets goddamn physical, and you need to stand up to it. If we weather the storm, we will sail on to victory probably. But we're weak. We're weak. We're weak. We're very weak, and they saw it. It's the only way I can describe it, guys. The team is physically weak. There's no
see, this is the problem. I mean, back in the day when Martin Keogh and Tony Adams were playing, there is no way in the world this would have happened. Because they would have like
absolutely not
with that fella. The Brentford players would have been too scared to do that. Do you know what I mean? Do you want me to answer this question this fella has put up?
No, because he's directed towards the main man, El Duce, El Diablo, Warren. So Warren is going to take this one, guys. Skool Gunner with his bad Wi-Fi in Venezuela is going to.
So basically, what my thoughts are about the signing of Lokonga and Tavares, I quite like the look of this Lokonga kid. I think he's going to be a good player for the future. Tavares, he looks okay, but I've heard disturbing reports about him. And the disturbing reports I've had have come from Benfica and a couple of journalists in Portugal who've said that his biggest weakness is his defending, which is a bit of a worry when the fella's a defender. Do you know what I mean? You sign a defender firstly and foremost because hopefully they can defend. Do you know what I mean? And if he can't, then we got a problem. I mean, but thank God he's not a regular starter. He's not going to be a regular starter. He's just a backup player. So big lad, treble 4. Yeah, I like Lokonga. Tavares, I've got some reservations about, but given that he's only there as a backup to Tierney, then it's not too much of an issue. But he's very young, and if we're able to get a proper coaching team, maybe they can improve him and coach these defensive frailties that he supposedly has out of him so that he can be a good addition to the squad. So, but
back again.
Yeah, I finished answering that chap's question, so I'll let you
back
take
again.
trouble
Right,
again,
guys,
mate.
I'm back again.
Exactly, he's back again, everyone.
I'll take over.
Yeah.
Back again. Okay, guys. Here we go. Warren answered your question. Respect the big lad, Bally TV, Ikudu Senin, and Joel. Welcome along to the show, guys. I'm back now for maybe another 30 seconds. Okay. Focus back on the we
Okay. If you can hear me, mate, you're frozen again, unfortunately.
Back again.
He's back again. He's come back.
Again. I'm sorry about this, guys. I apologize. I blame the Duro regime. I blame the Duro regime. Okay, I'm not going to get into politics. For the country. Okay. Let's talk the football, guys. Finally, apologies to Warren. He's going to kill me after this. That's cool. I'm going to get some threatening messages on WhatsApp. But that's fine. Yeah, guys. I don't know what to say about it, guys. The season so far has been, rough at start. It's only one game, guys. It's only game. So now we have City, and then we have Manchester City. It's going to be a very tough for us, guys. Mikel Arteta, I'm not sure what he's doing, what's on club. I expect that his defeat. I saw him it off. Okay. Imagine if you had hopes up, guys, and you were disappointed like that. It would be an absolute nightmare. I don't know. I feel a lot of Arsenal fans took that defeat on Friday very hard, and their guts ripped out. Like I said, I saw it. I knew it was going to happen, so I kind of prepared myself for it. When we went 1-0 down, I saw no way back. When we went 2-0 down, I knew Martins. I was annoyed, but I wasn't shocked. With Arteta, there's no limit to his actual. The team was so unprepared. Nobody was prepared. The FC Barcelona. Definitely Aubameyang has been linked to FC Barcelona, and maybe we're going to take a team. It's very strange times at the club. What about the players we're meant to be buying? It's so quiet, guys. There's nothing happening out there. Yeah. Marvin looks like he's going to fall asleep. I want to blame him.
No, I'm fine.
Can you hear me?
Go on.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought the connection was gone.
No,
you tricked me. Okay. You're funny, man. You're funny. I thought the connection was gone again. I thought the picture was running, but there was no sound.
No, this business about the lack of transfer activity. I don't know if it was you that I said this to the other day.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering whether they've put a block on it because they're thinking about sacking him. Because if they allow him to spend hundreds of millions of pounds on all these new players, and then dare say we get Conte in, right? Like all these stories that are flying about. We're lining up Conte to take over. It's a chance that he might want them. And, we would have wasted hundreds of millions of pounds on players that he can't use or he doesn't want to use. Mind you, it wouldn't surprise me.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I'm just wondering whether there's some truth in these rumours that they're thinking about sacking him. Because it would make sense that they put a block on transfers, and that would explain why there's not been that much activity, because they're thinking about sacking him. But I don't know, it's this mad idea I had come into my head. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Arteta is definitely in a very uncomfortable position now. He can walk around with his green slacks and his little cashmere sweater, but he's definitely in a very uncomfortable position now, guys. And Chelsea and City are to come. I mean, if anyone says that the guy's not under pressure, he's under the most immense pressure. And I honestly think that the patience of the board, it's going to run thin, guys. I mean, they're not going to be patient with him forever. Look at Tottenham. I mean, they're looking across North London to Tottenham. They're a fantastic stadium, guys. I saw the game yesterday, okay? This isn't me being jealous of Tottenham. I'm just comparing us with them at the moment, okay, guys? a fantastic new stadium, guys. I mean, it's a wonderful arena for football. And the way that the team are playing, guys, the way Nuno Espirito Santo has got them playing, they played absolutely fantastic against Manchester City yesterday. Only when City took on De Bruyne, only when De Bruyne came on, did City look like they were going to get something out of the game. Dele Alli, he just put himself about. He hasn't been the player that he was at the start of this. He's lost a little something, but he had one role yesterday in the team, and he was to disrupt Manchester City's build-up play. And he did it fantastically, guys, with his physicality, with his pace, with his positional play. They never looked in danger, really, until De Bruyne came on. De Bruyne was opening them up a little bit. But before that, guys, compare us to them, guys. Compare our manager to their manager and our performance to their performance. Just because they're not the neighbours, guys, that's why I'm doing it. I mean, no jealous of them or they're not, we're not rivals anymore, guys. They're above us. You know what I mean? But look at the way they played against Manchester City. Could you ever envisage an Arsenal team under Arteta putting in a performance like that? No way, guys. It wasn't a lucky 1-0 win. I honestly don't know. I hope Antonio Conte comes in. I hope the rumours are true.
See, the other thing about that Conte business is that it could bring everything to a head.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that who's going to come in? He's an experienced coach. He's an elite level coach. He knows what to do in different situations. And if he comes in and he sees all this crap that's going on at the club, he's going to call it out because he's not someone who's scared to say what he thinks. He will call it out. And, it could, and that's why I think it might bring everything to a head. And, there could be a lot of bloodletting and stuff, which is what I think it needs. It needs, it's like a boil that needs lancing. Do you know what I mean? It really does. And, for me, the biggest problem, is, as well as Arteta, is the fact that the guy who's sat at the top of the tree hasn't got a clue and he doesn't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? And that is a recipe for disaster. And the reason it's a recipe for disaster is because people can pull the wool over his eyes easily. Do you know what I mean? So it means that people are unaccountable, which means that this bloody nightmare scenario we've got where mediocrity is allowed to continue carries on. If he comes in, he's going to just upset the apple cart and say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. What are you doing? What are you doing? What the hell do you think you're playing at? No, this is not acceptable. I'm not having it. And it could end up, it can either go one of two ways. He gets everything he wants and they completely back him, or he'll end up in a huge, massive row and he'll end up walking and they'll be at the club a really short period of time. And that will be hugely embarrassing because we will find out what's going on. And then particularly because we got that bloody Amazon documentary going on as well.
It's a bad season for that, I can tell you. Or maybe a good season, whichever you look at things. It's going to be explosive. We are going to get stuffed against Chelsea. We are going to get stuffed against Manchester City. Prepare yourselves, guys. The team is going to stand. We're going to get annihilated in those two games. My God, I mean to say, the quality of those two teams against us.
See this comment by Stapes22, right? That I sort of agree with that, but mostly I don't, because there's only one club that has spent more money in the last 2-3 years than Arsenal, and that's Manchester United. We've got a forward line that costs nearly 180 million pounds. We've got Aubameyang was 60, Lacazette was 50, Pepe was 72. Right? So it's not that they're not spending money; it's that they're not using it properly. The recruitment in this club is absolutely horrific. Do you know what I mean? They bring these players in, they put them on ridiculous wages, that are hugely inflated, and that's why we can't move them on. Like the likes of Kolasinac and Bellerin. Nobody wants these players because their wages are just ridiculously high.
Yeah. And
Do
they're
you know
awful
what I mean?
players. Awful
Kolasinac
players.
is about on 120 grand a week, isn't he?
Yeah. And they're awful
You know.
players too. I mean, they're not the best players out there. They're
No.
not that good. So Stapes is here. He's got a comment for the main man, El Diablo. I agree with you. Yeah. Warren
Good
knows
man,
what
Mr.
he's talking about.
Stapes.
Good man. We're all Arsenal. We're in this together, guys.
Yeah, exactly. We need to put it on the board.
The performances, yeah, and the performances need to improve, but it's true what you, like you said, it's a good point. The wages, he's come in with another comment there now, Warren, but the wages, that's why other teams won't take them. The players won't take a step down. They won't take a reduction. So they're happy to stay at Arsenal. Even Pepe, and I don't want to, what we paid for him and the performances and what he's given back. But it's the whole management, it's the whole hierarchy. It's not just the players. As much as I love to slaughter Xhaka and guys like that, very limited players, it's what's happening above them. I mean, if Conte came in, he would definitely change things up and he would step on a few toes positively. He would shake things up and nobody would be secure of their place in the team. Guys would have to go into training.
He wouldn't put up with it. See, that's what I want. I want someone who's going to come in, who's going to be like George Graham and not put up with any shit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he won a winter. His record speaks for himself. He can go into the club, he can take a group of players, and he can turn it into a winning fella. His record speaks for itself. Okay, he'll need to get players in at Arsenal.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And that's the reason I want someone like him, or I want Diego Simone, because he ain't going to take any nonsense. I can just see him. I can see it in my mind. I can see him pinning up Bellerin to the dressing room rule by the throat. I can see it happening. Do you know what I mean? Because he will not put up with that shit. He won't. And he won't put up with Edu like bloody jet skiing all over the place and not doing any deals and all this crap. I mean, what is he doing? Do you know what I mean? They're like, we're in desperate need of reinforcements in the midfield and in the midfield to be improved. And there he is, he's out in bloody Mallorca or wherever it is, bloody on his jet skis. And I don't know, man. It's so depressing. So, and it looks like Old School's frozen on one side and he's coming back in on the other. Excellent. We're going to have two Old Schools. Yeah, look, he's coming in. Yeah, so what are we going to do to sort out this situation? Excuse me. Yeah, so what are we going to do with this situation? What can we do to sort it out? Because I personally think the club, a whole club, top to bottom, needs a radical overhaul, like a root and branch. It needs someone to come in and do a root and branch analysis of what's being done right, which isn't much as far as I can see, and what's been done wrong, and produce an action plan for the club to work on as a club to put the thing right. Now, I think we as fans need to take more responsibility, and we need to put pressure on the club to sort this mess out. I'm sorry, we had a bloody protest there at the end of last season, and it was the day of the semi-final against Villarreal, and the club managed to persuade our supporters to clap the team bus. I mean, for goodness sake, come on, wake up! If we don't take the decisive action, this club is going to be finished. Well, to be honest, I think it is finished. It's not the club that I grew up supporting. We need to stand up and say, no, this is not acceptable. We need to take action and demand success. And demand it. Right? I don't know if any of you know about Kenny Ken. I think he's on Instagram, and he posts videos about Arsenal and stuff like that. And I think his thing is at Kenny Ken 1972. The guy's an absolute legend, right? And what he doesn't know about football or boxing or anything else or other sports isn't worth knowing. But he always says, and I agree with him, that the club works for him. The owner, the board, the manager, the players, they all work for him. All right? And we have to demand success. We have to demand it. And not put up with this mediocrity. It's killing the club. This acceptance of mediocrity and the crap that goes on is killing the club, and it needs to stop. You know, we were told all through last season that, he needs his own players. He needs a pre-season. And then we were told, yes, the club are going to back him, and the club are going to put through the biggest overhaul in the club's history. And it hasn't happened. We've signed one player that is going to be a first-team regular, and we've we've recruited two players who are backups, like Tavares and Lokonga. Now, they might be good players, but we need people that are going to improve the team now, because that team is weak and it's not good enough, and we're in a weaker position now than what we were last season, because we've hold on, David Old School has just texted me. I'm just responding to him saying, don't worry, I'm talking to the people. Talking to the audience. Yeah, so the only problem is, people, I can't actually see the comments that are being made. Let me just see if I go on my phone and see if I can see comments.
Playing from Warren's iPhone.
See. Yeah, okay. So I can see.
Playing from Warren's iPhone.
Yeah, okay. So hold on a second. See. What's it doing now? Yeah, okay. So, I can just... There. Hold on, guys. So some of the comments we've got in here since the last one was about the big manager. Is the owners don't want a manager that will tell the truth. Arteta suits their project. That's true. I believe that too. He's a yes man, and he will do whatever they tell him. He will do whatever they tell him to do, which they won't get with Conte. But he just won't have it, and I think you're absolutely right. Truth is, we will lose Saka next summer if we ain't back in Europe. Yeah, and I agree with that as well, mate. Now the thing is,
Back again.
oh hello, mate. You're right.
I'm hooking in through the Wi-Fi in my phone. I managed to connect the Wi-Fi in my phone to my laptop, but I don't know how long it's going to last. But it's a secure connection at least.
Well, let's give it a go and see what happens.
Let's give it a go. I'm back again, back in full effect. I don't know what you've been talking about. You've probably been talking about me. But let me post the comments.
I was just trying to go through the comments. I went on my phone to see if I could see the comments because I can't see them on my side. So I was just, it was mostly Stapes 22.
Yeah.
And I was answering these comments. So thanks very much, Stapes 22, for your comments. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, big time. And my apologies to everybody. It's a bad day over here in old school Gunner land. But I'm back for a while, guys. Thank you to Warren. I appreciate you taking the show on because you've been doing it all since we started. Yeah, it must be frustrating for you, but luckily you're a patient man. Any Arsenal fan is a patient man. I mean, patience is the watchword.
We need to be watching this club.
Yeah, you need to be patient when you're an Arsenal fan these days. Come back, Emery. Come back, Wenger. All is forgiven. There's a lot of skeletons in the closet, guys. We're going to have to let those skeletons out of those closet. One thing I'm going to say, guys, and don't be fooled by me and Warren having a laugh and a joke, guys. We take it lightly too, guys, when we can have a laugh and a joke, but the situation is very serious, guys. We're two diehard Gunners, supported the club a hell of a long time. And what we see at the moment going on, guys, it's not pleasing on the eye. I can never remember the team being in such a bad situation coming into a season as now. And to be honest, guys, you'd have to fear for us. And I'm not talking about Chelsea and City, but beyond that, Arteta is really on a hiding to nothing, guys. I mean, the way he's taken the team forward, his management, he was a bad player, guys. He's a worse manager. He's not even manager. He's not manager material. I hope to God that maybe the rumours about Conte are true, that he can turn things around. We just want to see a bit of development, guys, and the team moving forward. And it's the complete opposite of that, guys. Like I said, with respects to Brentford, we should have beaten them, guys. We had enough in the tank for them. We had enough to get a win against them, guys. That would have been a start for us. And winning the first game, you'd have to fear the worst. You'd have to fear the worst.
Sorry, mate, to interrupt you. Can I ask you a question?
Do
you think they've down tools?
Do I think they've done?
They've got a track record of doing this. They did it under Emery. I'm just wondering if they've done it again with him.
Yeah, maybe so. There's definitely a bit of discord in the squad. I wouldn't say everyone has seen eye to eye with him. The thing about the two forwards having an illness, I don't believe that for a second.
Weird. Because the thing is, I've heard now,
guys,
the Renaissance has gone down now as well. So what is it that he's gone in? The thing is, they're saying they're not going to be available for selection for Sunday. So what is this illness that they've gone down with? What illness is it?
There obviously is no illness because they're just calling it an illness. If a player does his hamstring, if a player does his ankle, If a player gets COVID, they're going to name it in the press, but just calling it an illness, the whole thing to me just, it just defies belief what's going on out there, to be honest. Yeah, they didn't play for the team. Like, look at Stapes is 22, his next commentator. He's dead right with that comment. Truth is, we will lose Bukayo Saka next summer if we're not back in Europe. That is 100% bang on. One problem, it's like anything in life. One problem suddenly manifests itself, and then it can lead to 2 or 3 connecting problems. And this is what's going to happen here. The situation is very serious. I can't see us getting back into Europe this season. It's only after 1 game, but the team is all over the place. We've got guys in there that shouldn't be in there. We've got contracts being given that shouldn't be given. And the new players we bought, you know what I mean? They can't have much of an impact when everything is so unsteady. I mean, what are they doing in training? What are they talking about in training room at halftime? I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the dressing room and see what's going on there. I mean, they're not buddy-buddy. There's no team spirit. There's no morale. There's no belief. There's no passion. I mean, they're paying for this at the end of the day. Who gives a crap about the wages? Who gives a crap if you're going to go home and have a bologna sandwich? You know what I mean? Who gives a crap about those things? Players want to play. Players want to win. If they're no pride in themselves, they don't want to get a result against Brentford, they should be fired up to get a result, start the season and push forward. They want to win silverware. They want to do something. They want to enjoy their football, and they want to reach their potential. You know what I mean? All of these things come into play. And the way Arteta sends them out there, then he's so slow to react when things are going against us. And Brentford, they annihilated us. They let us have the ball, they let us play it around, and then they hit us. And then they hit us again. It could have been worse, you know? It could have been worse. The keeper is completely unsettled. How can Ben White relax? How can Ben White get into the team when he knows that Leno is behind him? I mean, that's half the battle. They're talking about Ben White. What about Leno, man? You can't play when you have him behind you like the way he's playing. Of course, Ben White is aware, oh man, I got to watch out. How many times did Ben White save us in that game? And he's the one then getting slated. The selection.
Yeah. It to me, it looks like that they've got no confidence in the goalkeeper. And part of the reason for that is because Leno doesn't talk. It's not like when Emmy was here, he was organising them and chatting at them and talking to them through the game.
Yeah.
You know, and it rubbed off. You saw that the defence would gradually improve when Emmy was there because of the way he was as a player. And then this one, he's prone to making a mistake. So that immediately puts the rest of the defence under pressure. Because they know if they make a mistake and they're relying on him as a last line.
He's not going to bail them out there. He's not going to get there. No.
So that's
it's done then. It's done. You know what I mean? But definitely a bit of heart, a bit of belief, and a bit of spirit is not too much to ask for from these players. I mean, honestly, the way they went out and the way they played, they need to just stand up and be counted. I mean, if you're a defender and the man's in front of you, push into him, move him around. Don't let him back into you and put his elbows up and put his chest up and back in. They were backing into him all day long, man. All day long. They were backing in, they were backing in, they were backing in. And when the ball was coming in, they were taking it down, and they were all on top. All the guys in the forwards for Brentford were running riot. They were moving all over the place. They were just shrugging him off the ball. Don't let him do that to you. You know what I mean? Push him around, shove him around. And you talked about Keown and Adams, man. When the ball broke and they went for the 50-50, even Adams against Shearer, and they were England teammates, he went in very hard. He went in hard. And Shearer went in hard. But they respected each other. You know what I mean? Shearer went in committed and Adams went in committed. And there was no such thing as he's my England buddy and teammate. The both of them went in hard. And the both of them got a knock, but they respected each other and there was no crap. They got up and they got on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And
they weren't holding hands and they weren't kissing each other behind the bike shed. You know what I mean? Like you said, man, the last time, like you said, at the end of the game, Shaq is hugging this guy and Bellerin is hugging that guy and Bellerin's complimenting the guy on his nice hairstyle. Man, remember Roy Keane back in the day? He wasn't shaking anyone's hand.
No.
He was back in the tunnel.
Remember the
before
game
the
at
game.
Highbury when him and Patrick Vieira were like going at it in the tunnel?
Yeah, because of Neville, of course. I mean, when Bergkamp was trying to calm down Patrick Vieira, and Patrick Vieira was going to get an ass whooping. You know what I mean? Like, they were the good old days. They didn't like each other. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to like everybody in the world. I've got a list of people I don't like. You're not on it, Warren, anyway, so don't worry. But I have a list of... I have a list of people I don't like.
Can you imagine if that character had tried what he tried on with Leno, with Jens Lehmann? What would have happened?
Jens Lehmann
would have clattered him.
Lehmann would have urinated on him.
Yeah.
Because he always had to go for a pee, or he would have just did it on him. You know what I mean?
He would have
imagine
spat him out again.
Imagine Oliver Kahn. Oliver Kahn, the scariest goalkeeper I ever saw. I was terrified of him. Kahn was like a man possessed when he came out for the ball. What an animal.
See, because what worries me now is that, it's going to happen again, this situation where opposition teams are going to try and rough up Leno. So what they need to do what Arsenal did in the end with Jens Lehmann. They need to put a defender between Leno and the opposition player to stop him getting to him. Because the problem is a different problem with Lehmann, because he would just end up smacking people and either get sent off or give away penalties. So that's what they used to do. They used to put defenders between Lehmann and the opposition player to stop that happening.
Man, mark him and stick tight. Don't let him push in,
Yeah. So that they can't get to him, because the problem was that Lehmann was liable to smack people and give away penalties or get sent off, which was a big problem. So that's why they did it. And I think that's what they might have to do that with Leno as well, because I don't think he's going to smack anyone, but he might get impeded to the extent where he's not able to fulfill his role as a goalkeeper properly.
But he needs to hit the weights, man, or he needs to do something. I mean, he's a nice guy and he does his best, but in that situation, man, like, he's been playing in the Premier League a while. It's not like this is a new thing for him. He didn't just turn up with Tavares and with Ben White. When he comes out, man, he's got a clean house. And even if he takes out Ben White, or if he takes out one of the centre-backs as well and blows them onto the ground, goalies do that all the time. They blow their own player out of it too, just to get at the ball when it's coming in. Fist it out. But get out there and clear it out. And if he has to take out one of his own players too, you know what I mean? When he's jumping up, so be it.
Yeah,
but
no,
he can use his hands, punch the ball clear, man, when it's coming in, and go out there with purpose. The ball is coming in, get up for it. If you don't think you can reach it, don't move out. He's the professional, not me, but he definitely needs to be a bit more authoritative in the penalty area and bossing the back four. I mean, Seaman never stopped shouting at the back four, and they liked it. He was like, Martin, watch your left. Tony, pull back a bit. And this was against Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, guys like this that could open you up. Seaman was telling Adams, pull back a little bit more, He was telling Keown, watch on your side. There was communication going on because he could see the forwards rolling off him, that they were moving in. You've got to have that there. Everything needs to improve. I mean, and Ben White, what a baptism of fire for that poor guy. I'm just going to talk about Stapes22. You see his comment? He has a YouTube channel, 3 pointers. I'll be sure to check that out. No problem at all. No need to put this message up. Too late. Okay. Again from Stapes, Leno is a great keeper, but not in a system to play out from the back. We don't have the players to receive the ball anyway, really, apart from Ben White. But Tierney is not bad. Ben White is not bad, but Ben White needs time to settle. But playing the ball out from the back, man. In the Premier League, even, that's a difficult thing to do. Manchester City get away with it, but they move the ball rapidly. They don't mess around. And the goalie can put it out to the left back. I mean, there's no need for Leno to play it into the centre back, to play it to Ben White, play it out to the wing. You know what I mean? Play it to the left back, play it to the right back. This thing of playing it in around the penalty area when the players are pushing forward, no way. Leno, just play it out to the wingman. The wingers drop off and collect possession, and let's move it up the line. And then we funnel it into the midfield, but not through the centre backs. Don't move the ball through the centre backs unless the opposition are well off. But the way it is now, they're pressing. Every team is pressing. Liverpool did it, and every team is following suit. Get it out wide, man. They have to move the ball out to the wide. That's what I'm saying. Not through the centre backs. It's too dangerous. Straight out to the wing. I played a bit of football. I'm not professional, but I would move the ball out to the wing at every opportunity. And when I was playing, I would come and drop off and look for it. But I wasn't in the middle, in the centre, dilly-dallying on the ball. Even at that level, guys going to pick your pockets, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, Arsenal Alex is in the house. Big up the panel. Big up you, Arsenal Alex. Check out this guy's channel, guys. Arsenal Alex. Check him out on Instagram. Arsenal Alex 1. And do yourselves a favour. I think Alex is just recovering after Friday. I'd say the punching bag took a hell of a beating. I'd say there's actually like a hole in the punch bag, or maybe in the wall, one or the other. Another comment there, old school philosophy. Wow, you're very close to my channel, Old Skool Gunner. I have a rival. I believe the best position for a captain is CD or MID, surely from a logistically sensible location on the pitch. It's all about logistics. DHL, you know what I mean? They have a good team, actually, the DHL team. They play very good. They are logistically good on the ball. No, they always deliver. DHL always deliver. You know what I mean? They deliver the ball into the net. What a team. Do you ever see DHL play? They have a great team.
No, mate.
Yeah.
No, I have.
They have a guy, he's not
delivering packages, but not playing football.
DHL are logistically very good on the ball. They always deliver. But they have a goalkeeper called Beno, not Leno. He's very good. Maybe we could get Beno. Okay, moving on. Thank you, Old School, for that comment. We appreciate it. From one old school to another. All right, Arsenal. I'm learning new hobbies instead of stressing over Arsenal. You know what's a good hobby? You know what's a good hobby to learn? Krav Maga. And then maybe you'll see Arteta at the stadium and you can like drop kick him. You know what I mean? All right, if it's good enough for the Israelis, it's good enough for us guys. All right, let's look at this. Hope you are well. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. I had a few connection problems and Warren shouldered the team. The Old Skool Gunner team, he shouldered it there for most of the show because I was missing in action. I was AWOL, absent without authorised leave. A bit like Harry Kane at Spurs, absent without authorised leave. I would love if he came to Arsenal, but let's talk about Kane for a minute. He actually wants to win something. Of course he's not going to stay at Spurs, guys. Come on. You really think they're going to... They won yesterday, but you really think they're going to win something? Man, I can't see them win. They couldn't win an argument. Wait till February, March again. Anyway, we have our own problems. There's no need to talk about them. But yeah, Harry Kane, get the move that you deserve, my friend. Move to a club that actually is going to, facilitate your growth and let you win. You know what I mean?
I think that's going to happen this week. I do. I'll be surprised if there's not some movement with that this week because it's a ridiculous situation. I mean, did you hear the fans yesterday singing, "Are you watching Harry Kane?" The Spurs fans were like chanting at him, like, "Are you watching?" I mean, it's a ridiculous situation.
What do they think? He's crying into his soup? I doubt it. You know what I mean? All the money he has, nice car, nice apartment, and he's got a chance to move to a better club. Of course he's watching. He's probably laughing. You know what I mean? Are you watching Harry Kane? Oh, there have to be I better come back and play. Oh, we're on the up. No, man. They should respect. He wants to move on to better things. You know, he wants to move on to better things, and he wants a better opportunity. What's wrong with that? Time is moving on. He's given a lot of years and a lot of effort to Spurs, and he's been faithful to the club. I'm not a fan of his, of course not. All the goals he scored against us, but he's been faithful to the club, and he gave it a good go, and he did his best to get them silverware. You know what I mean? Obviously, Spurs, being Spurs, they fell short like they always do. But yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah, guys. What about Arsenal? Where do we go from here? What about the Chelsea game? And what about the Manchester City game? I mean to say, I'm having nightmares now just thinking about it because they are bang on form and they're scoring goals for fun. Not City, but Chelsea. City lost. They're not going to lose again, guys, and we're going to feel the brunt of it.
Yeah,
You could be
we
sure of it.
are. But
They're
I
going to
think
take it out on us, guys. They had a bad start, but they're still the champions, and they have
I'm
to be the
still.
fairest this
I'm
year.
more worried about the Chelsea game than I am the City game. I'll tell you why. Because I've noticed with Pep, right, he will go into a 2 or 3 goal lead, and then he'll just like tell them to ease up because it's his mate,
Mm.
and he doesn't want to humiliate his mate.
Yeah.
Right? The game against Chelsea, that's a different kettle of fish. I don't think they will give us any leeway.
No, they're going to steamroller us. They're going
Yeah.
to absolutely. I'm telling you now, Ben White and the goalie, the whole back four, they're going to have an extremely, extremely uncomfortable time there against Chelsea.
Mm.
They just have the quality of players, and they have the manager. Their manager is absolutely fantastic. He's unbelievable, guys. This man came in after Frank Lampard left, guys. They won the Champions League. This guy, guys, is a different level. Their coach, regardless of the better players they have much better players than us. Is Lukaku going to start? God help us if he plays. Their team, guys, is much better than ours, but their manager, this guy is an incredible coach, guys. He is absolutely, he's like a knife, guys. He'll cut you, he's so sharp. We're going to get torn apart. Even if we up our level, which I think we will, they're still going to have us, guys. We up our level from the last game, but we couldn't go backwards. There has to be some improvement because we couldn't play worse than we did in the opening game. But they're still going to beat us, guys. Honestly, I can't see us getting a result, anything against them. Even if we up our level and certain players give their all, guys, they're better than us. And their coach.
They are, sadly. It's sad to admit it, but they are. You have to be honest about it. And
they're light years ahead of us, man. Light years. Their team is, the way they move the ball quick, it's like they go dead. Chelsea tend to go dead a lot of the time. That's the way I talk about it. They go very quiet. And out of nowhere, 3 goals. They go very kind of quiet. They have these phases. And you think, we're getting them, guys. The next minute, they're in. It's like that. You have to be against them. You need to be 90 minutes fully committed. They have these phases where they go quiet and then they come to life. And when they start playing, guys, you can't resist it. It's irresistible football. They just open it up and they get in. And it's quick football. It's 2 feet. It's 1-2. And a lot of the goals are tap-ins. They're tap-ins, guys, because they play it deep beyond the back four. They spring the offside trap. And then you look at the highlights and you say, but that was a tap-in. What went before it? They pulled everybody out of position. They're quick.
Exactly, and they play at speed. It's not like us.
And they make sure of it. They cross the ball into the danger area and they look to the free man. They play the ball directly between the goalie and the defenders. The goalie doesn't know whether to come or stay, and the defenders are caught flat-footed. And Havertz is going in between them. He's in between the 2 centre-backs. And he's getting a toe on it and he's putting it in the corner. They have tap-ins, guys, because they play it that way. They take the defence out of the equation. And when they pass the ball in, guys, they're not like us willy-nilly. In fairness to Saka, he makes sure of it. But they put it in on a plate, guys. Yeah, imagine Lukaku feeding off that. Imagine Lukaku in the centre-forward position and him feeding off those kind of balls in. Guys, he's got the physicality to knock anybody over, even Virgil van Dijk. It'd be too much for him. And you're telling me we're going to stop him? He's going to just hammer the ball in, guys, like Benzema. Hammer the ball in. Just smash it in. They're going to trounce us. They're going to blow us off the park.
Yeah.
Oh, we're dead.
It's a bit of a worry, honestly, because I can see them like running up a big score. Not just 1 or 2. It could get embarrassing.
Hopefully it won't be 8-2. Remember when United beat us 8-2? But look, apart from the Chelsea and the City game, Leicester, Everton, West Ham, Aston Villa.
Well, we got West Brom as well between Chelsea and Man City in the League Cup. That's going to
Crystal
be
Palace.
difficult.
We're not good enough. It's not just Chelsea and City, guys. These teams. What about when we play Spurs? God in heaven.
Mm.
Oh my God.
I know.
Guys,
The club is in such a mess that
some old school philosophy. My rival.
Did you say
My rival.
that?
Did you say Lemon? No, Leno. The problem is with Leno. Did Warren just say that? Yeah,
Mm.
apart from, and I'm saying it too, old school. One old school to another, my friend. Peace. But the problem is a little bit with Leno. His distribution and his overall general play has it's dropped completely.
The problem
It's
is
all
he
about
doesn't
levels.
talk. He doesn't talk and organise his defence.
Yeah.
That's a huge issue.
We're much worse than we were last season with the same players. They've completely deteriorated. And what's going on in the forwards? Guys, we're not scoring goals. And we're not going to score goals because it's completely. We could have the best midfield in the world, guys. It wouldn't make a touch of a difference because the whole team is disjointed. The balance, you see it, Warren, right? There's no balance. There's no balance inside. They had 24 chances and Brentford had 8 and Brentford scored twice and we didn't score at all. These 24 chances they're talking about, they weren't even half chances, really, in my opinion. 24 chances. What
How many
chance?
Let me just have a look. How many shots on target did we have?
Shots on target?
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, the whole season? Maybe
No,
one.
no, like in the game. Like,
I know, I'm joking.
already.
Your guess now is as good as mine.
16.
Yeah. Guys. You've no idea the situation the club is in. Any other fans out there supporting other teams? Mikel Arteta, I hope God he gets sacked. We're not going to get back into Europe, and we need to. It's like the man said, Stapes 22, and thank you for tuning in, Stapes 22. I appreciate it, and also Arsenal Alex, and also old school philosophy. But it's like Stapes 22 said. If we don't get into the European football this year, if we don't get back into qualification for that, we will lose Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, no, we will, 100%.
It's like a knock-on effect. Success breeds success. We get back into Europe, maybe we can get a couple of good players again. The players we have will stay with us, and we can get some new talent in. Success breeds success. You need to be in Europe. You need to be playing at some level like that.
I can't see us improving under this coach. I think we're going to go backwards again.
I honestly think the team could go down, and I'm not joking about that. I've seen a lot of football in my time. I've watched a lot of games. I've seen a lot of play, and it's definitely, guys, there's a real lack of quality in the team. There's a lack of leadership, and we do not have a good manager. I honestly think the team can go down. I think nothing is impossible. I think we could have a relegation battle on our hands. I'm telling you guys, West Ham United, Newcastle United, Aston Villa, they're going to give us serious problems, guys. They're better than us, in my opinion. And then you have the Leicesters, the Liverpools. Manchester United are going to absolutely trounce us, in my opinion. We are going to get murdered. I'm telling you, guys, think about this now. Think about the team, think about the formation, and think about the performance the last day. After the 2 games coming up against the big guns, after that, it's all season long, guys. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be a serious challenge for us. I can see relegation on the cards.
We're not
the positive person you could ever meet.
It could definitely happen.
It can definitely happen, man, because the signs are there. The signs are there, and the team is not scoring. The midfield is ineffective, and the defense is falling. Brentford, with respect to them, I honestly don't think. Man. I come from Cork City, guys, the second biggest city in the Republic of Ireland. I think Cork City would give Brentford a better game than Arsenal did, and Cork City are just you know, they're not fully professional.
Mm.
Honestly, guys, honestly, I mean to say, like, that was their easiest game, I'd say, in the last year, Brentford, their easiest game. They're a hungry team, and they absolutely put us to the sword, and we were completely, completely out of our depth against them. And what Arteta was thinking, come on, like, he's not playing, but he can put the players on. Saka came on, he couldn't get into it. Balogun, he couldn't get into it. Martinelli, he couldn't get into it. If I was on the sideline, guys, I would have put down my notes, put down my copybook or whatever the hell Arteta's looking at, and I would have shouted, screaming and roaring. I want the 11 Arsenal to compete against the 11 Brentford players, and I want them to physically push back at them. And if a guy gets himself sent off, I'll take the responsibility for it. But I want him to stand up physically. We need to stand up physically to teams. For God's sake, I mean, what were they doing? They let
the
themselves
thing is, because we're so slow and ponderous, right? Whenever we do get the ball forward, the opposition are able to get back in position and crowd us out. That's why it's so difficult for us to create goal-scoring opportunities, because we can't get the ball into goal-scoring positions because we take too long over it. There's no urgency. There's no creativity. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's all down to Arteta's tactics. I'm sorry, but he has to go.
Yeah.
He really does. But it's not just him. The whole club needs sorting out.
Yeah,
While you were having your Wi-Fi issues, I was telling everyone that we need a root and branch, like investigation, and an action plan needs to be put together about how to improve the club, because it is such a mess. Everything, there's nothing in the club is working properly, right? The recruitment, the treatment of injuries, the tactics, the management, the man management, the in-game management, everything is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's not addressed, we will be in a relegation dogfight.
There's so many problems
there. No doubt about it. And the problem we got with that is there's not many players in that team who've got the bottle for the fight. I can think maybe one or two.
And they're abandoning a sinking ship, because a few of them are already thinking of leaving, you know?
Yeah.
And then the guys that we want to leave are more than happy to stay.
Mm.
Xhaka looked like a complete novice in that Brentford game. A lot of players did know. I'm not going to pick just on him. But he also looked like a complete novice, out of his depth. I mean, what about the Xhaka that played for Switzerland? Where is that fire? Where is that passion? Do we literally need to change the mascot of the club to like an Albanian or something? I mean, what is going to get him motivated? What is going to get him motivated? Look at the way he played for Switzerland. Okay, Switzerland team is a better team than Arsenal.
That's the problem. When he's playing for Switzerland, he's got more time to do what it is that he needs to do. When he's playing for Arsenal, people are on him straight away. He can't. If he's pressurised and he's forced to play quickly, he can't handle it, and that's why he looks so bad. If he was playing in a team where he had a lot more space and a lot more time, he'd probably look really good. You know, if he was playing in the German league or in the Italian league, yeah, he would be a lot better. But in this league, it's too in your face and too quick for him, and he can't. Because of that, he can't handle it. And I just think it's a big mistake.
He fades. Arteta's picking him. I mean, he's got to look on the field and see that he thinks that's okay. He thinks that the player is doing okay. The player's not doing okay. The player is struggling. I mean to say, like, I mean, even if we had gotten a 1-1 or a 2-2 with Brentford, you know, no disgrace. But we let ourselves they went there with no intention of even winning. It's just like they gave up and just rolled over. The whole attitude in the club is... And Saka came on, but Saka can't do it on his own, you know? Smith Rowe can't do it on his own, because Brentford were very committed. They were getting stuck in. They were playing the ball quick. They were showing a lot of aggression, but positive aggression. I didn't see any dirty tackles, dirty foot. They didn't need to. They had it easy. They had it easy against us. The teams that they were playing in the championship when they came up that season when they qualified, they had really hard games in that game. Then against Arsenal, you know,
Yeah,
it was like a trip to Disneyland with the kids. They just walked it. It was easy, man. And they knew our vulnerabilities, and they knew where we weren't strong, and they knew this and they knew that. But didn't Arteta look at Brentford and see where we could target them? Is that a thing of the past, or am I dreaming? They don't sit down and watch a couple of videos of Brentford playing to get an idea of what they're like. That is the best way to do it, Warren. Sit the team down, and they all have a little movie night, and they watch it, and they see.
Well, that's why you've got a video analysis team.
Exactly. What is
wrong with that? They analyse all these videos and put together stuff for clubs so that they can look at stuff where weaknesses that they can exploit and so on and so forth. And where things are going wrong that need to be addressed, so that the coach can sit with people and say, right, I've noticed that you were doing this and that. That's not what I want you to do. I want from now on, I want you to do this, that, and the other. Or this lot aren't very good at picking up people at corners at the front post. We need to attack the front post from a corner. Things like that, simple stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's why they have these video analysis people.
Yeah, our set piece. Our defending against set pieces was found out in Scotland. Those 2 games we played against Hibernian and Rangers, our defending from set pieces was sadly lacking. I mean, awful stuff going on. And I understand why they played that other goalkeeper up in Scotland. I mean, maybe we should bring in that other goalkeeper and have him playing instead of Leno. I'm deadly serious. I think we should bring in that other goalkeeper and have him playing. Or Cornwall, we should play him. Why not? You know what I mean? I'm being serious, man. Leno needs a shock to the system. He needs to be dropped. Canned.
I don't understand why we didn't sign up Matt Ryan. What happened there?
Emi Martinez has come out on the news and he's like, I told you so. You know what I mean? Emi Martinez has been to Arteta, I told you so.
Well, the thing is, we're talking about buying this lad from Sheffield United for 30-odd million, and yet when we could have got Matt Ryan on a free, it just don't make any sense.
You see this from old school? He's another old school like me. But I'm the original, you know what I mean? Solidify the spirit and bring everyone up, and you go. A player in our squad that could do that, I think Tierney would be the best choice for captain at the moment.
That's what I think.
He's still a young guy, you know. I'm not saying he's a child, but I think after a few seasons, I would give it to Ben White. You know, I like Ben White. I have a lot of time for Ben White. People can criticize him all they want after the Brentford game. It was his debut, guys, and it was a baptism of fire. And everyone around him was playing brutal. You know what I mean? He was exposed completely. 3 against 1 in there, guys. What could he do? He got sandwiched. You know what I mean? And they're big, strong guys, the Brentford players. Did you see how big some of them are, Warren?
Yeah, Jesus. I did. And
wow,
the answer to that question is obvious. There's only one candidate, and it's Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
It has to be Kieran.
We have nobody else.
No.
Xhaka, Bellerin, Willian, El Neni. Guys. It has to be Tierney. It has to be Tierney.
There is
look at the performance on Friday, guys. Sorry, no word. Look at the performance on Friday. We don't have a problem. We have 20 problems. Look at the performance on Friday. Come on, Warren. We can laugh and jump. Look at the performance, man.
It's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
What the hell were they doing? They didn't have a good night's sleep.
No passion. There was no sense of urgency. No creativity.
Half time is there for a reason, guys. You get the lads in, you sit them down, and you tell them a few home truths. You don't destroy the guys. But we were getting it handed to us, guys. They were destroying us out there. Half time, we could have got the heads down and went out and given it hell for 45 minutes. Win, lose or draw, who knows? But give it everything you have. Who is thinking about Saturday? Who's thinking about Sunday? There's no tomorrow in that situation, guys. It's do or die. You've got to go out there and do the business. If they don't do it against Brentford, they're not going to do it at all. That was the perfect response. We should have came out in the second half and tried. Got physical, went to ground, went into tackles, and played football. Pass, shoot, score, but tackle. Be committed.
That's what I'm talking about.
None of that. Nothing. Zero.
That's what I'm talking about with the lack of passion
Nothing.
and urgency. And they're playing so slowly. And part of it's because of Granit Xhaka. There is no. It's so slow. It's ponderous, and
He slows it down. Yeah, he slows it down.
yeah, and we can't, and that's part of the reason we can't break teams down because we're not playing.
4 shots on target, Warren. 4 shots on target. 4.
Yeah, it was. They only had 3, by the way, but
they scored 2.
The fact that we only had 4, and
out of 22 shots, 4 on target.
Yeah, 22 shots, 4 on target. That's appalling. And we didn't score 1 goal. We never looked like we were going to score.
No.
You know, and these 4 shots.
They had us, Warren. They had us. They had us, man.
Yeah.
They had us on the back foot.
We never, ever looked like we were going to break them down.
Yeah, I saw a game yesterday. It was Barcelona against Real Sociedad. Yeah. And you know who's playing now for Real Sociedad? David Silva. No, David Silva, they lost the game, 4-2, I think. They lost anyway, maybe 2-0, 3-0. I think Real Madrid beat the team they played 4-2. But when he got the ball in the midfield, guys, he at least tried. Barcelona were destroying him. He got it, he turned quickly, and he looked to play the ball beyond the left back or the right back. You know what I mean? It was like an angled ball in behind for the onrushing winger to attack. Okay, a lot of times they didn't get it, they couldn't get through, but that's what we need. You pivot and you play the pass directly. Bergkamp was the master at that. I know we don't have anybody with that technical ability, but Bergkamp was the master at that. He would play the ball beyond and like curving to the outside into the winger's pass, just beyond the defender. These 50-50 passes to put them under pressure at the back. We didn't put Brentford under pressure at the back. They were always playing forward. Their 4 backs were looking into the midfield. We never got them turned. We never turned them with their back to goal where they're running to goal, you know. We never got them running in under their own crossbar to clear a ball out.
The thing is that every time we got the ball, it went backwards, forwards, sideways, backwards. It was just so slow and ponderous. We're never going to carve anyone open playing like that.
Of course not.
And this was the problem last season when we had that long period where we only scored 1 goal from open play in about 2.5 months or what it was. Ridiculous. It was. Do you know what I mean? And we're going down that route again. I just can't believe that he's not learning from his mistakes.
Exactly.
Not playing at a high enough tempo. We need to up the tempo and be more positive going forward. It's just so negative.
He wants to keep Granit Xhaka. What is the...
But what does he bring to the team? What is it he actually does?
Mikel Arteta is to blame, man, 110%. You know, Xhaka's offered the contract. They're going to let him stay. The man's going to stay. But Mikel Arteta could easily have sent the player away. And we don't need him. He doesn't do anything for the team. But Mikel Arteta chose to keep him. And now they're giving him an extended contract. He's going to be at the club for another 4 or 5 years. Tell me where is the sense in that?
Sold him, right? Once he nearly went to Hertha Berlin in Germany. And now this summer we nearly sent him off to Roma.
Arteta has no friends, and I'm not talking about the fans. Well, he's no friends in the fans either, but he's no friends in football management because doesn't he ever think of picking up the phone to Pep Guardiola, asking him about what do you think I'm doing wrong? I mean, he was assistant to Pep at Manchester City. He's not, isn't he? Doesn't he have any kind of professional relationship with Pep? Pick up the phone, completely anonymous, and the two of them chat like men. And Pep set him straight on a few things. You know what I mean? Doesn't he have anybody he can phone that can give him advice and let him see the reality of it? We're going to get annihilated, man. I'm telling you, relegation is a real prospect, guys. Look at I'll repeat myself again. Look at the performance on Friday, guys.
It was
If
shocking.
you could call it that.
You know, that was against a team that got promoted through the playoffs. Right? They weren't like champions of the championship or runners-up. They got promoted through the playoffs.
Exactly.
I don't know where they finished in the league, but it's possible. Third, fourth, fifth. They could have finished as low as sixth in the championship.
Yeah, because in the playoff system, then they can actually play off to get through. Yeah, they don't have to be first. Who finished first? Who finished first? They're going to destroy us. The team that finished first.
You know, because Norwich won it, Watford was second, and then the teams that were third, fourth, fifth, and sixth would play off to see who got promoted. So theoretically, they could have finished as low as sixth. I don't know where they did finish.
Yeah, they're not the best team in the league, and they still had enough to deal with us. Norwich then will absolutely mangle us. I mean, they are going to just blow us apart. It's a real, like, we're come down to reality now, guys. The good days, I don't know, they will come back at some point, but I fear for us, guys. I'm being honest. My God, I mean, the next two games and after that, the rest of the season, I honestly can't see where the goals and where the points are going to come from. I can see us struggling against West Ham, against Newcastle, against Southampton, against obviously Leicester, United, City, Chelsea, Spurs Liverpool are going to. Guys, we can just scratch those games off, if you ask me, and focus on the other ones and try to take the points from them. They're going to annihilate us, Warren, man.
I know. I saw Match of the Day.
Liverpool are going to
Sunday morning on playback on the iPlayer. All right, and I wouldn't back us to beat any of those teams.
No. West Ham are very good now.
West Ham, Jesus, they will destroy.
They're very good, man. Everton are very good.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I mean, the thing is, you're coming up against teams that have got good managers who know what they're doing.
Exactly.
You know, this clown, he hasn't got an idea.
He doesn't have an iota, man. Not a clue.
No.
I just don't know what to say.
It's a massive concern for me. It really is.
Sorry, no, guys, this hasn't been the most constructive live stream that I've ever done. But we're all licking our wounds after Friday, and this for me is like therapy. I'm serious, it's like therapy. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. I would like to thank Warren for coming on. I appreciate it. And to be honest, Warren, you took the show because the Wi-Fi here just leveled me. Thank you, Warren, for all your help with the show, your effort. The Wi-Fi problems, I apologize. It is what it is, man.
Thanks for having me on, mate. I really appreciate
no
it.
problem.
Really enjoyed it. Don't worry about the Wi-Fi. We got there in the end.
Listen,
so,
like I said, thank you to Warren. Thank you to Stapes22. Thank you to Old School Philosophy. Thank you to Arsenal, Alex. Thank you to Big Lad, Body TV, Joe Lewis, and Ricky Dusenin. Thank you for everybody for tuning in, guys. Rest in peace to Mr. Muller. Rest in peace to Gerd Muller, guys. He was one of a kind, guys. An absolutely fantastic forward. Incredible player. Say no more about it. Anyway, guys, back to Arsenal. I'm just going to big up Warren's channel, guys. It's on the live feed underneath, but check it out, guys. Warren's Team Talk. Subscribe to the man. Stapes22, we're going to check out your channel, my friend. We'll have a look and we'll see what's what. We'll see what's going on. You can collab and come online with us anytime once I have good Wi-Fi. I'm going to Punta Cana in like a week and a half, so then I should have good Wi-Fi, hopefully. I'm going to be in Punta Cana, guys, in the Dominican Republic, sunning my little chicken legs. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll bump into Harry Kane. Maybe he's over in the Dominican Republic and he's not in London at all. Who knows? Because he was in the Bahamas. Maybe he's nearby. who knows what's going on with Kane. Yeah, big up Warren's channel, guys. Check out Arsenal Alex channel. Check out Stapes 22, guys. And yeah, what more can I say? Thank you to Warren for coming on. Yeah, and the therapy session is over for a while. Best of luck, guys. Smash that like on my channel. Smash that subscribe. And see you next time, guys. Take it easy. Come on, you Gooners.